Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Monday, March 20th, 2023. Before I jump into the charts, please click like if you would each and every time you watch the Apple report, and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full assortment of daily and weekly analytical videos, including daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and the long bond ETF, the TLT, and 2 individual stock picks every week, usually Tuesdays on Thursdays. They're also 5 to 10 minute video format. All of that you rarely see on YouTube, and you get the full assortment of everything I just described for one reasonably priced subscription. And wickedstocks.com. Check us out. You got a 5-day money-back guarantee, just so you know. So if you don't like what you see, we will give you your money back in full within 5 days if you just email us and tell us you're not interested. Anyway, let's move on to the charts here. This is a weekly chart of Apple. It kind of shows 2 long-term areas, the low to mid 120s and the upper 160s. And we came off of the low to mid 120s in January, and following that testing, mentioning how the 169.57 channel top should be considered in reach by some point in 23. On the way up in early February, we did close, actually gap above and settle above a meaningful channel top at 139.70 that then indicated 3 to 5 months likely bullish continuation to that same channel top, but on the daily chart at 172.20. And so that remains the big picture, holding above 139.70, still expecting the lower 170s. And, more recently, I could go into the fact that this rising 2/3 speed line, now at 150.38, did contain selling pressures, over the last few weeks. We had an early March low, a middle March low, and so here we are. And this is really the dynamic here, 150.38, pullback support for the week itself, and above which the upper 150s are expected over the next week or two. Upper 150s are once again a combination of a long-term descending 2/3 speed line projected off that November 21, is that a December 21 or a January 22 high? I forget, against the more recent low in January. So 5/8 upside is 160.49, and the 2/3 speed line, is 159.23. So this is a range. I also have 160, 173 that I'll show in a moment, but we'll just call it the upper 150s. Low 160s remain, essentially a 2 to 3 week objective above 150.38. So for the day itself, I've got 155.70 upside still. We did not test that on last Friday. That is, that's the wrong chart. That is nothing more than an October pullback high going back to last October. We came very close to testing it actually in early February. 157.38 was that high. And so we are approaching it. I don't see it as significant. I think it's vulnerable to a violation even on an intraday basis. And so we could get back to, the day itself. That if we push through 157.50, which is about here on the chart, we can test quite easily 159.23 by the closing bell on an intraday basis. That would be a meaningful rally today, but it is in reach if we push through 157.50. Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Apple report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today. Downside, I've got 153.71. There's a few things going on there. You've got the former high settlement price from a few weeks ago. I think it's 153.83 as I recall. And you also have this high here from, was that Tuesday of last week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's right. 153.40. 153.71 is a Fibonacci level, a minor one, nothing significant, but I think when you put all that together, it does offer downward pivot point qualities. In other words, if we break 153.71, we may well test 150.38 on an intraday basis, where we can place a weekly low and come off nicely back into the upper 150s. So this opportunity was presented a few times over the last couple of weeks, and if presented again, still offers that same opportunity. But if you are long now from this lower area, you're still anticipating the upper 150s, low 160s, I assume, as your near-term 1 to 3 week objective. If we do, though, close below 150.38, that does pivot the market south through the rest of the week and more than likely into next. I think I'm kind of rifling through the charts here. I think this becomes our objective, 143.54 within a full week of trade. It is a bit stair-step. You can see the support resistance. My first target is 145.31. I can draw that out for you. Let's see. Do I have that drawn out? I don't actually. But it's very simply just a horizontal channel top against these highs, if you follow my cursor, against this low coming across. So if we break 150, I don't see this today, by the way. I think perhaps if this market does fall into this zone, perhaps the market could violate 150.38. And then if we break 150.38 on an intraday basis later in the week, perhaps the 145.31 level would be in reach possibly within the day. And then overall, closing below 150.38, 143.64 considered a 3 to 5 day, a full week target. And then overall, closing below 150.38, this market can unravel over the next few weeks to 139.70. I say can unravel. I do think that there's a good case to be made that if this thing is pulling away so nicely now, that if we test it and just kind of trade in this area for the next 3 to 5 days, it'll be in the mid 150s before we know it, that we can then begin increasingly respect this 143.64. The 150.38 is a trend-defining speed line. And so 143.64 is not trend defining. There's no bull trend that you can say remains intact above 143.64. But on a sort of stair-step basis, I may bump this up to a 3-star weekly containment level because, the market is still quite buoyant. There is an updraft long-term above 139.70. And so, if we do close below 150.38, we could fail to follow through all the way back to 139.70 because it would be sort of a near-term sell signal in what remains a longer-term sign of strength above 139.70. Anyway, this is a long way for me to say that if we do test 139.70 over the next few weeks, it can absorb selling on a quarterly basis, and we can come off nicely from here. And once again, above 139.70, still maintaining a low 170s 3 to 5 month target. I can get back to the day here and just emphasize that pushing or opening above 157.50 signals 159.23. Breaking or opening below 153.71 does indicate 150.38. 150.38, trend-defining support, able to contain weekly selling pressures. If we fall into this zone and you're looking for a 1 to 2 week position trade, you could reach for 160 out of the money calls or just buy the stock outright, holding out for low 160s. If we close below 150.38, I would recommend liquidating those out of the money 160 calls if your time horizon is typically 1 to 3 weeks, because we could then spend the next 1 to 3 weeks continuing south into the upper 130s. You could also play the short side. If we close below 150.38, you could reach for 138, 139 out of the money puts that don't expire for at least a few weeks. Inversely, dipping into the low 150s, 150.38, you could reach for 160 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a few weeks. And finally, last thing I will say, as we're at the 8.5 minute mark, I don't like to go more than 10 minutes on these. If we were to close over the next week or two above this meaningful area, and it is considered an eventuality. So closing above 160.49, we have a 2 to 3 week objective into the low 170s. So if we close above 160.49 later this week, you could reach for those 170, 172 out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a few weeks. You might go a couple of months out, and that would be the next nice upside play. That is all I've got for Monday's Daily Apple Report. Please click like and subscribe and check out wickedstocks.com. You have a great day.